2025 was an incredible year for Nintendo with the release of the Switch 2 and some incredible games like Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Metroid Prime 4, and so many more. But now we're in 2026, which will be the first full year of the Nintendo Switch 2's life, and while we know about quite a few games releasing in the first half of the year, there is a notable lack of information on games for the second half of 2026. In this video, I want to talk about the games we know that are releasing this year, some that we know exist but don't know if they're releasing this year or not, and finally, some games which we don't officially know about, but I feel are very likely to exist and could release in 2026. So with that being said, yo guys, Crazytendo here, and let's talk about Nintendo's 2026. So starting off with the games we already know exist, let's talk about Mario Tennis Fever. This game releases on February 12th, and when it was initially shown off, I honestly didn't care that much. Mario sports games have been on a decline for the past many years. Tennis especially was lacking in the last couple of entries. I even made a whole video about the fall off of Mario Sports and how Nintendo could improve. Now Nintendo did actually surprise me with this reveal, as this actually looks like it'll be a fun Mario Tennis game. One of the biggest issues in the past few Mario Sports games was the lack of content and the focus shifting more towards the sport aspect rather than the Mario aspect. Most people bought these games for the Mario charm, not because it was a sports game. Like, come on, who's buying Mario Golf Super Rush because they want to play a golf game? No, you're buying it because you want a Mario game. Tennis Fever brings back that Mario charm and makes this game really feel like a true successor to the GameCube era of Mario Sports. Well, in terms of what we've seen already at least. The Fever racket mechanic seems really cool. You can charge up your Fever meter and unleash a special shot that's unique depending on your racket. For example, freezing the court, creating a clone of yourself, or giving yourself a special dash. I think this mechanic is pretty cool, and there's even an option to turn it off if you don't want to play with it. There's 30 different Fever rackets in the game, which, combined with the biggest character roster in Mario Tennis history, adds lots of different combinations to play as. Speaking of characters, if there's one reason to get this game, it's baby Waluigi making his debut. Like, come on, this guy looks incredible. The game also has lots of side modes like Tournament, Trial Towers, which is like a challenge mode, Ring Shot, Pinball Match, Wonder Chord Match, a campaign, and so much more. This game genuinely looks fun, and I hope that it is the comeback of Mario Sports that we have long needed. Up next, we gotta talk about Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. This is set to release in spring 2026, and yeah, I don't really have a lot to say for it. It looks like a regular old, bland, generic, basic Yoshi game. Not a lot of unique and special stuff going for it, and it just looks really boring. The game is about a sentient book called Mr. E, who has information about mysterious creatures in the book's pages, and he asks Yoshi to help him investigate. Yoshi enters the book, plays levels while getting information about the mysterious creatures, and well, that's all we know about the gameplay of this game. The platforming itself also looks extremely basic, like there's no real challenge at all from what we've seen. The game just looks boring. I know I've said this a few times, but I really just gotta nail down, I do not care for this game. There's probably a target audience out there, but that audience is not me, and I will not be picking this game up. However, this next game really has me interested, and that's Splatoon Raiders. This game was just randomly revealed in June on the Nintendo Today app, and it's really exciting as it's the very first Splatoon spin-off game. It looks like it'll be some sort of single-player campaign, but I have a feeling it's going to be drastically different compared to the Splatoon campaigns that are part of the main games, so that this game stands out more. Deep Cut is returning, which I can't complain about. It's great that my boy Big Man is back. And while there isn't really a lot I can say about this game because we don't know much, they didn't show off that much, I just think the overall concept of a single-player, campaign-focused Splatoon spin-off game is really cool. I think it's probably going to be some sort of adventure game where you have to explore this island and you'll unlock new abilities to let you travel to new areas and fight new bosses. But this is just my prediction. I really can't say if this is what we're getting. This is just what I personally would expect from a Splatoon campaign spin-off game. There's no release window at all for this game, like not even a year, but I mean, I feel like it's definitely going to be in 2026. Because there's no way they would have given a full trailer for this game in 2025 if they weren't planning on releasing it at least in 2026. Going back to Mario, we also have the Super Mario Bros. Wonder Nintendo Switch 2 edition, which releases on March 26. It is great that we're getting new Mario Wonder content, but a focus on multiplayer minigames isn't what most people were hoping for. I did find it a bit strange that this is what Nintendo decided to go for, but oh well. The content does look pretty fun though. You can play local multiplayer and online multiplayer with a total of 17 different minigames, for example competing for the number of coins collected, or jumping in time with the rhythm. There's also the Toad Brigade training camp, which lets you complete special objectives in past courses, like defeating a certain amount of enemies in time. The Koopalings also return in the Nintendo Switch 2 edition, and you have to track them down and fight them, but there's not much information about what this is. Like, is this kind of a new, smaller campaign, or is this just extra content for the past existing levels? We really don't know. Rosalina and co-star Luma are also new playable characters. Rosalina's cool, I guess. I know they're definitely adding these two characters to tie into the Super Mario Galaxy movie releasing later this year. But I really don't get the concept of co-star Luma. I think it's pretty stupid. I mean, all they could do is fly around collecting coins and hitting enemies. It's really just the cursor from the Mario Galaxy games that Player 2 plays as. I can get how some like really little kids, like maybe 2-3-year-olds, would use it if they're playing with like their family, their older siblings or something, but I think it's kind of dumb. Assist mode is also getting added to the game, which, if you didn't know, basically means you take no damage from enemies and you get saved when you like fall down a gap or something. Overall, I think the Switch 2 edition will be fun. I will be getting this, but I don't know if it's something I'll be hooked onto for a long period of time. Pokemon Pokopia is an Animal Crossing type life sim game releasing on March 5th, where you play as a Ditto who transforms into a human, and you start off in this ruined town which you have to rebuild as you play the game. Along your journey to restore this town and make it your own, you'll get new abilities to help you add even more life to this town, and you will even gain the ability to transform into other Pokemon to traverse more easily. The game also has a crafting feature to craft various items like furniture, roads, and streetlights, and I think it really is cool that you're getting a Pokemon game where you can make your own town and it has a Pokemon charm to it. While there is no new Pokemon since it isn't a mainline game or a mainline type game, there are some new variants like a ghost type Pikachu, which is pretty cool. The thing that sucks about this game though is it's going to be $70 and a game key card, which is a bit much. If it was $60, I might have been interested in getting it, but I'm not going to get it. It is going to sell well though because, you know, it's Pokemon and it definitely has a target audience, so a lot of people are going to enjoy it. But yeah, like I said, I'm not going to be getting it, and the reason for that is because, my opinion, the better life sim type game releasing is going to be Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. For years, I have wanted Tomodachi Life from the 3DS to get ported to the Switch. Miitopia got that treatment, so surely Tomodachi Life could get the same thing. A sequel would have been cool too, but I wasn't sure if Nintendo was interested in doing that. But then last year they revealed this game and I've been patiently waiting ever since. Nintendo even had a full-on direct for this game, which had me even more hyped. This game has so many features, like more Mii customization with like ears and different hair shading. There's more Mii accessories that you can create. You can even like create your own accessories like pets and stuff, which is awesome. You can even customize your island, like how it looks and stuff, if you want to, by creating different shapes, and I think that that's absolutely phenomenal. The game also introduces dating preferences, which is something that the original game was lacking and lots of fans wanted. They've also added some changes into Mii interactions. You can force two Miis to meet up instead of just hoping that it happens, which is also really great. And when they meet up, you can choose whatever they talk about. Like there's a text box that opens and you just type in a topic. So, you know, I can have my Walter White Mii talk to Hugh Morris about Fortnite. Isn't that just incredible? My only small complaint is that they might have gotten rid of the concert hall, which was an incredible part of the 3DS game, but hopefully it's just something they didn't show off in the trailer and it really is in the game. There's so much I could talk about for this game, but as to not waste too much time, I'll leave it here for now. But do let me know down below if you would be interested in me doing a video specifically on this game. Up next is Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about this game because I don't know anything about Fire Emblem. I've never played Fire Emblem, I've never cared about Fire Emblem, and I probably never will, so I'm really not qualified to talk about the upcoming entry, but it seems cool for Fire Emblem fans, I guess. The visuals look cool, but I literally don't know what else to say. I'm literally only mentioning it here so that no one in the comments hates on me for not talking about it. Moving on to Rhythm Heaven Groove. I've never played much Rhythm Heaven. I've played a little bit of the Wii and 3DS entries, but like not a lot, like maybe half an hour or so. Rhythm games are fun, but they're not the type of games I would buy, especially not at Nintendo level prices. However, this game does look pretty cool. We haven't seen that much, but I've always loved the Rhythm Heaven charm, and I'm glad to see the series is returning. I'm happy for all the fans that have been waiting years for a new entry. If they release a demo, I'll definitely try that out, but if this is releasing at $60, then I'm probably not gonna get it. But again, I'm still happy for all the fans that have been waiting for this game to release. Now it's time to talk about some new games we could get. So starting off, I want to talk about Kirby. Pretty much every year in the Switch's life, we get something Kirby related, except for 2021 and 2024 where we got no releases. While a new mainline 3D Kirby would be great, I don't think that's going to happen just yet. It's probably going to happen in maybe 2027 or 2028. However, I do think we're going to get a remaster of an older Kirby game this year to make up for it. And that remaster is most likely going to be Triple Deluxe or Planet Robobot, both of them released for the 3DS. Planet Robobot has been rumored for a while now, and it would be really cool to see. In an ideal world, I would want Triple Deluxe and Planet Robobot bundled together, which actually might happen as we've been seeing more of these dual remaster releases that can be bought together physically or separately digitally, like with Pikmin 1 and 2 and Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. So who knows, maybe they do something similar here where you can buy both of them together physically, or if you want you can just buy Planet Robobot or Triple Deluxe on their own digitally. Both of these are really fun games and it'd be nice to see them come back. However, if they do get bundled together, that means they would definitely not have any new content included, as that would be way too much in one package, which would suck. However, if only one of these games was getting remastered, then I feel like we would get some additional small content alongside that. Again, no confirmation this exists, but I think it's likely to happen. Luigi's Mansion was always sort of a niche franchise until the release of Luigi's Mansion 3 in 2019. The game blew up in popularity and it sold really well and has made the series really well known amongst casual gamers. While Luigi's Mansion 2 HD was a disappointing port as it didn't look or run that great, I have a feeling that a new entry is coming up soon and it might release around Halloween this year just like it did around Halloween in 2019. I've never really played a Luigi's Mansion game before, but my younger brother and my dad beat Luigi's Mansion 3 in co-op together in like 2021 and they had a lot of fun playing it. I used to watch them play every now and then, but yeah, since I've never really played the game, I'm not sure what features could be added or what I want to see, but I do think that Nintendo has been cooking up this game, especially since Luigi's Mansion 3 did really well. I think it could release this year. I'm not too confident on this one, but if it isn't releasing this year, then it's definitely going to release in 2027. I have no doubt about that. One of Nintendo's biggest series is The Legend of Zelda, and this year is its 40th anniversary. Every year on the Switch, besides 2022, we've gotten a Zelda game of some sort. It's way too early for a new 3D game this year. While I definitely want a new 3D game, it's not going to happen. It's only been 3 years since Tears of the Kingdom, so it's going to be another 3 to 4 years before the next one releases. I do think that this could be the year we get the Wind Waker or Twilight Princess Wii U ports or a remake of Ocarina of Time 3D. Ocarina of Time did get remade for the 3DS, so maybe they remaster that 3DS port. A full-on remake is probably not gonna happen. Wind Waker and Twilight Princess ports, on the other hand, are something fans, including myself, have been begging for ages. And again, like I mentioned, this is the 40th anniversary for Zelda, so they're definitely doing something Zelda this year. It's pretty much like 100% confirmed. I'd say it's like 90% confirmed that we're getting something Zelda this year. For the 35th anniversary, they remastered Skyward Sword and made a Zelda Game & Watch, which isn't a ton of stuff like they did for Mario's 35th anniversary, but it's still something. We're definitely gonna get something Zelda this year, whether that be Wind Waker HD or Twilight Princess HD or an Ocarina of Time remake, something like that. We could maybe get something else like, I don't know, Cadence of Hyrule 2, but we are definitely, like, I'm willing to bet my life on it. We're definitely getting something Zelda this year. Another series that's important for Nintendo is Pokemon. Last year in 2025, Pokemon broke their cycle of releasing a new mainline generation of games every 3 years. When Legends ZA was revealed in 2024, I thought 2025 would be like 2022, with a Legends game at the start of the year and the new generation at the end. However, since Legends ZA released at the end of 2025, obviously we did not get Gen 10. Legends ZA, despite what many people say, is an incredible game to me. I was very satisfied with this game and I had a ton of fun playing it, but still I do want to see the next mainline games. With Scarlet and Violet and how terrible they were, I'm really hoping Game Freak can make a good looking Pokemon game. There's been lots of leaks already for Gen 10 and I do think they are almost 100% real since they came from the infamous Terra leak, so I'm not going to talk about them here as to not spoil the game, but if you want to, you can find them online really easily. This year is also Pokemon's 30th anniversary, which is the perfect time to release a brand new generation of mainline games. I mean, yeah, we're getting Pokemon Pokopia this year, but that really isn't enough to celebrate Pokemon's 30th anniversary. My hopes for this generation is that it simply looks good visually, it runs well, and that it's a fun game. Scarlet and Violet looked terrible, ran horrible, and in my opinion, it just wasn't fun. The open world wasn't done well, it was very lacking and empty and just felt forced. Legends EA did really well with the performance on Switch 2 and like I mentioned, it was an incredibly fun game. The graphics were a slight improvement, however, obviously, you know, we can't forget about those flat buildings, so they still have some work to do in terms of graphics, but besides that, I think the Pokemon series could finally be getting its comeback. To sum it up, it's Pokemon's 30th anniversary. We didn't get a mainline game last year like we normally would have. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get Gen 10 this year. There's one final thing I want to talk about in this video. You knew this was going to be in the video, it's literally in every Nintendo video nowadays, but where the fuck is 3D Mario? Like seriously, back when I started this channel, I talked a lot about how it'd been ages since the last 2D Mario, which at the time was New Super Mario Bros. U on the Wii U. And it's crazy to me at least that the same amount of time that passed between me talking about that and the game's initial release is the same amount of time it's been since the last 3D Mario, which is almost 9 years. I genuinely thought we would get one in 2025 for the Nintendo Switch 2's holiday, but we didn't. This year is Mario's 40th anniversary, but at the same time we've already had lots of games announced. We got the 2 Galaxy games, which were last year, we're getting Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, the Mario Wonder Switch 2 edition, and even the second Super Mario movie, that being the Super Mario Galaxy movie. So there's already a lot we're getting for this anniversary, so maybe a new 3D Mario would add too much, but at the same time, it's genuinely been ages. I was a kid when Odyssey released. I remember talking about it with one of my friends on its release day back when we were in 4th grade. And now, I'm an adult. Nintendo definitely knows they can make a ton of money from 3D Mario. I genuinely don't know why it's been so long since the last one came out. It's not like how it was with 2D Mario where the sales and reception kept dropping with each new release, so that's why they took a break in order to improve. No, 3D Mario has always had good reception, besides maybe 3D Land getting okay reception, but even then 3D Land is still a good game. Okay, enough with that rant, I'm sorry about that, but I genuinely wonder if Nintendo truly has forgotten about Mario. Just like everyone, ever since Bowser's Fury, I've been hoping for a big open world 3D Mario game, and every time there's a direct, I hope and pray we get some news about it. I don't know how likely 3D Mario is to release this year. On one hand, I think it might be likely just because of how long it's been since the last one and the fact that it's Mario's 40th anniversary. On the other hand, because we already have quite a few other stuff releasing for the anniversary, maybe 3D Mario might be too much, so I really don't know. But anyways, Nintendo's 2026 is already gearing up to be a pretty good year with the games we already know about, like Mario Tennis Fever and Tomodachi Life. But if some of these other games do release, such as Pokemon Gen 10, Splatoon Raiders, a Zelda remaster, and hopefully a 3D Mario, 2026 could be an absolutely incredible year for Nintendo. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, we're really close to 1K subs, and it'd be great if we can reach that by the end of 2026. And if you did enjoy this video, you'll definitely like this video on screen where I ranked every Nintendo game of 2025. But with that being said, yo guys, Crazytendo here, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.